right? No real opportunity shown this week, right? And I do want to see recovery just because all the effort that it's taking to continue higher from a daily perspective, right? When we're looking at this, we're pretty much stuck in a range, right? But there's no way I can be short on this because every single structure point is still intact. As you can see, there's structure points intact, right? Until we see any type of structure point break, then we can assume, a movement to the downside that would be a recovery of this previous overall range, right? And what's that's pretty much the only thing holding it up. It's the structure point holding, because since it's holding, there's always the possibility this can just fly, right? Like there's always the possibility that we have structure points continuously forming to the upside. Well, not this one, but this one, right? And this isn't a solidified low until we take out, an intraday structure point. So if we see that, happen, whereas if we were to see this happen, right, it's two different scenarios. So it's just a break. It's just we're pretty much at a intraday range that is either going to take structure or maintain it. And my best bet, honestly, like if we were to break structure here, right, this is now your solidified high, so you'd have to play based off of that range and then continue lower. Whereas there's always the possibility that we can, pull back into any point of interest that's up here. But the only issue with wanting to take this short is obviously the structure points maintaining, right? So I'm pretty much not really wanting to touch it unless I were to see something during trading hours. But, something that's alarming here for me is more so effort based with, with volume. And that's looking at the volume from this previous run up to the high. Right? You see how we pretty much made that higher high, right? But unsupported volume, right? Unlike, the previous one, whereas we actually saw a spike of volume, but this was still diminishment of volume too. So these highs are pretty much not convincing me, right? And the last time I saw something like this, right, we saw pretty much 4 highs. You could consider this, a buying climax, secondary test, up thrust, UTAD. But the last time I saw something like that was, I think, last year. It was before COVID for sure. All right, where pretty much saw pretty much 4 highs, right? And even though we had maintained structure, I had changed my bias here, right? And that was because of this move up here, right? I'm not sure if I can get this right. I don't know if I'm pretty sure some old members will remember this. This is from the old group. Damn, where is this? Dude, what the fuck? Okay. Yeah, so we're pretty much where, I essentially saw, the structure break occur before it happened. And although swing structure has maintained, right, the intraday structure here, right, had already created a low, a high, and that had already broken structure. And we were just trying to play from, the range given, which was here. These two structure points, and that we had played this inefficient pricing there. Obviously, price isn't as clean right now, right? But we could even see kind of, technically the same thing. Whereas in the point of, let me see, let me just delete all this. Because if this structure were to continue, I would have really expected a 70 or 60% retracement, probably come back to these wicks here to then, have a confirmation to continue higher. But we broke those with momentum, and that's my issue, right? Every single pretty much recovery after, we're clearing a high, like for example, we cleared a high here, this is pretty slow. This isn't direct. You can see that there's movement here, right? Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Right here, down, up, down, right? This time it was a straight down, right? So the momentum is a whole lot greater here than it was here and here, right? So that's pretty much scaring me to the point where I kind of want to change my bias, even though this hasn't broken whatsoever, right? So so we can literally see the same thing happen here, whereas there's a inefficient pricing there, or there's potentially SC there, preferred premium obviously, but I'm wanting to change my bias, but I'm still going to look for those bullish opportunities, because at the end of the day, I know that structure is intact, right? Structure is intact. We've already seen the rejection happen, right? By all means, this can die here, but I'm wanting to change my bias because of the momentum shown from a previous experience, and the fact that, on the daily, this is taking way too much effort to continue higher, right? Which is hence why we have this zigzaggy move, right? And that's what you call a flag, pretty much. But it's all pretty much taking too much effort to ultimately create new higher highs, right? So the only scary thing too here is obviously the daily closures, but that can obviously be neglected right off the bat by just one wick up and down, so I'm really waiting to see what happens Monday and Tuesday. That will pretty much direct where we'll go for the rest of the week. All right, so other than this, I haven't really been seeing GU or anything else. I know there was a good opportunity. I know Chris got this here somewhere. But this actually looks a whole lot more bullish than EU does. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this actually goes up, right? Impulse, correction, impulse, right? It's as simple as that. But this looks a whole lot more clean to the upside than obviously EURUSD does. Right, and then this too. I actually closed this summer here before market closure, because that target had already been met, and this was countertrend, right? Same here. It's like this exact scenario can happen to EU if the structure doesn't break, right? As you can see, structure is maintained, right, which then created that final push, even though we were in corrective structure, right? Whereas now I could just be recovering to then take another impulse. That's what happens when a flag fails, and 9 times out of 10 that happens because of structure, right? Whereas you can see structure never broke, which is exactly what's going on with EU now, which is why I'm still going to look for those bullish opportunities, because structure is maintained. And who's to say we can't tap? My next target would personally be inefficiency fill there. Hold on. All right, who's to say we can't reach that, right? At the end of the day, from a higher time frame perspective, this still is bullish. And because we failed to create, a lower low here, right, after this break of structure there, we can now assume that a higher high could occur. Right, this is the single bias, which is why we've been buying from here, pretty much since RCV open is why I've been bullish on that, is because of that structure, rule there. Right, liquidity grab creates a higher high, which then leads to a higher low. And then that will create a higher high 9 times out of 10. Right, so does that make sense? Cool. All right, so do you guys have any questions? You guys want to discuss something? I know I haven't talked to you guys in like a week, since last Saturday, I believe. Anybody? Who do we have on call, actually? Do we have a bunch of new guys, or do we have some more older people? Yeah, we do have more older people. Christian, Jamie. Yeah, pretty much same old people. What's good, guys? Like, do I just sound dead or something, or like, what's up?
Hey, Fredo, can you go over internal structure versus external structure a little bit?
Well, it's pretty. Oh, I'm gonna make a video on it, so I'm not gonna touch on it too much because I don't have my notes on me. My notes are somewhere, probably on my iPad. Um,
Okay.
but just a simple, let's see, simple breakdown of it. Right, I didn't discuss this in the course, and that's completely my fault. Let's see. So pretty much, I like to consider above H1, H2 to about right before daily, which would be like H16. Right, I like to consider those swing structure points, or swing structure time frames. Right, and below that, obviously, like M15 to H1, I like to consider that intraday. Right, anything below is scalping structure, and anything above that, is obviously position structure. So what exactly do you want me to answer with that? Because you have to show me an example. I can't just think of one off the top of my head. Hello? Yo, did you hear what I said? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so you have to tell me exactly what it is you need to understand or what it is you're not understanding for me to go there, because I can't just do that whole breakdown right now. Or I should actually do this. Hold on. I should do this. Scalp, intraday. Well, actually, I did that wrong. Hold on, am I doing this right? Hold on. Right, scalping intraday, swing, then my more positions bias. That's kind of just a smaller way to break it down for you right here. But you have to tell me what it is you need, or else I can't really answer that. That's so messy. Let's see. There it goes. That's much better. So before you can even discuss exactly what kind of, I'm actually gonna do this on without the annotating. Before discussing what exactly you mean by, you know, intraday structure, scalping structure, pretty much correlating them, you gotta know exactly what you're trading, right? Whether you're a scalper, you're an intraday trader, a swing trader, or a position trader. That's the first thing you have to essentially figure out. All right, you first have to figure out what kind of trader am I, and that's exactly where you find your set of structure points first. Whereas if I'm a swing trader, I'm gonna find my important points anywhere in these time frames. These are gonna be where I find my POIs, right? And I'm only gonna use the intraday structure point to give me a confirmation to enter that swing point, right? But the only way to see that intraday begin, you have to see it on the scalping structure. So this is more so a level 3, level 2, level 1. Level 1 is obviously, as a beginner, you want to take your trades from a swing time frame, hence why you find your POIs on these time frames and you play based off of them. That's step 1. Step 2, taking it a step further, is zooming into those POIs and even refining it, or just looking at the reaction that you get and essentially trying to get an intraday confirmation to want to take that trade, which minimizes your stop. And that is pretty much step 2 of, that's how you get your 20 to 1s, 30 to 1s, etc. Whereas now, if you take that a step further and you go inside those intraday time frames, and after you see those intraday confirmations, you then find a scalping confirmation, which then minimizes your stop, and that's how you get 50 to 1 plus, right? So I don't know what exactly you meant with what I'm like what you need, but that's pretty much breaking down structure is before knowing what exactly you're trading. You have to know exactly what type of trader you are, and then go and find POIs based off of that. So I don't really know what you mean, but hopefully that answers your question. But I'm making a new video on this. But bro, apparently every fucking developer these days is just straight up shitty because nobody can do what we want them to do. So like I haven't found anybody to be able to fix our website. So until I do that, I can't put videos up there. Obviously we think we took out one of the people leaking the content, but there's always the possibility of there being somebody else, or we haven't even caught him yet. Obviously everybody now in the group, we have their information, so it wouldn't make sense for them to leak stuff, right? I'll actually be the first to admit that my content hasn't been where it's where it has, where the people first joined, right? And that's obviously, I mean, I'm not gonna make that an excuse as from my surgery and all that, blah blah blah. But the content is coming. I just need to find somebody to fix this damn website, or if not, I'm gonna have to research on how to do it myself. But until then, I can't make these videos. These are important videos. Like the pair behaviors video is important. The new structure video is important, right? So that's what I'm pretty much waiting on. You gotta make who builds websites for a living? Oh, give them my contact information. I need to speak to them, because apparently nobody. I've talked to 5 different people, and those 5 different people have ignored me. And I don't know if they just don't take me seriously, or I don't know, but just know I'm a dude who pays, and I'll pay however much I need to pay. What is the problem with the website? Well, I need to find a way to put people's information on the screen, because the more videos I put up on the website, the more people are gonna leak. And that's obviously unfair to you guys. That's unfair to me. So I don't really want to, keep making all this content just to, have it then be given away. It's just that there's no point then. But I think it's hard to do that. No, it's not. It's not. Like, I know exactly what needs to be done. I just need to find somebody that knows how to do it. Like, it's obviously not impossible. People have it. You mean? But yeah, do you guys have any questions? Yeah, well, when it's in the front, when it's in your entire screen, bro, what are you gonna blur? You're just gonna blur the entire thing. It's gonna be on your entire screen. So it doesn't matter what you do. It's if you blur it out, you're gonna blur the actual video out. And then I'm also gonna make the changes to the zoom too once that happens. Like, yeah, it's gonna be like on your entire screen. Like, I can't add one on here. Yeah, like how the RCV logo is on the background. That's what I'm pretty much gonna have your information bigger, but on the whole screen. You know, audio watermark is apparently a thing too. Yeah, but that is very hard to integrate. That's actually very hard to integrate. Like, it's a lot easier to put a watermark in than an audio watermark. And then with audio watermark, you could also edit that out. Edit that out. Yeah, pretty much. Every video for an individual. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not efficient from what I know. But there's always the possibility of there being other options. But yeah, anyways, that's enough of that. Like, that's not, that's obviously I have to take care of that. That's not something you guys have to worry about. You couple it with RIP. Just don't worry about it, bro. Just know that it's in the works. Because this isn't what you guys joined for. This isn't the discussion you guys joined for. Do you guys have any more trading questions, or are we done here? Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and end it there. Thank you guys for hopping on. We should be getting back to our regular schedule starting this Wednesday. And I know Sergio wants to start his calls, so I don't know when he wants. I forgot when he said he was going to do those. But now those will be just add-ons now. But I'm not going to advertise those or anything. Those will just be extras for you guys. Mm-hmm. What's the question? Bro, that's exactly what I speak about in every single pair breakdown. It's like, let's say I have one big old candle, right? I find a POI here. Let's say there's inefficient pricing here and here, right? You now have a point of interest to play off of, right? This is a pretty big one. That's like 40 points. Whereas now this is H4, correct? So we're now approaching this on H4, but now we zoom in, let's say M30, wherever that zone is, right? Wherever that zone is. So we now have this happening inside. Ooh, that's ugly. Right, we reach into the zone, right? Now there's two things you can do. You can obviously take a limit here with a stop there, and then your take profit there. Or you can see that break of structure, then find another POI in this 30-minute time frame while you get there. Right now, when you get there, and let's say you go to M6, right, you now see the same thing. What if you're now seeing this, a break of structure, and then now what if you see a POI here, and now price is reaching it, and now your entry is here, your stop is here, and it's your same take profit. That's a really bad drawing, but that's pretty much what I'm going to discuss in the video. But that's essentially what I've been doing since, in every single pair breakdown video. I don't know what you mean by you can't correlate them. It's just about finding POIs on higher time frames and zooming in on lower time frames, right? But you obviously got to know what kind of trade you're trying to get into in order to know what time frames to use. Right, so is that making sense? Yes, I understand. Do you understand, or are you just saying yes? Because this is pretty much what I try to go over in the pair breakdowns, because that's exactly what each ones are, which is finding, higher time frame direction and point of interest. I don't know exactly what I've done in each pair breakdown video, right? I don't remember actually what's inside of them, but I know that's the general idea, is showing you higher time frame POIs to then be zoomed into smaller time frames and waiting for that confirmation. But that's pretty much it. Like, let's see. It'd be the same thing here. Like, for example, let's say you find a point of interest on H4, whatever it is, right? This is now that's a pretty small one, so let me make it a little bit bigger. Right, let's say you find a 10 pip range. You now go into your smaller time frame. Right, now you can see, take that limit there with a 10 to 11 pip stop, probably like a 12 pip stop, right? Or you can wait, break of structure. Now you find another POI and you wait for that to go there. Now on 5 minute, whatever smaller time frame is, right, let's say there's a break of structure, or let's say there's a 90% retracement there, you now have another point of interest to play off of, which is here. And now your position could either be extremely aggressive, whereas you're just taking that POI, which is a 2 pip stop, or to that previous high, which is a 4 pip stop, right? But in theory, right, you now have your high RR trade setups like that. So you always have to start from higher time frame. When in doubt, zoom out. I always say that. I got that from people that showed me Wyckoff back in the day. Right? If you're confused about something, I'm confused on M5. Okay, let me go to M15. I'm confused on M15. I go to H1. If I'm confused at H1, I go to H4, daily, weekly, etc. I noticed that you always take action from H4 plus POI for swing targets. Exactly, bro, because that is a swing time frame. Because I am a swing trader, right? Before knowing what type of trade you want to take, you got to know exactly what kind of trader you are. Hence why I'm using H4 plus for POIs, because I am a swing trader. Do you see how that kind of connects? If there is any way that we can take action from lower time frame for daily targets, what, bro? That's exactly what I'm showing you. Come on, bro. We'll just end it off there. Yeah. Swing seems less stressful. No, it's not a. It's I wouldn't say it's stressful. It's the same thing, right? Like, if we were to get more opportunities from a position bias, then I would be a position trader. But honestly, being a position trader doesn't give me that many opportunities. So I just go to those position timeframes and I note out the potential POIs, right? Because now that'll give me a bias for swings for the next 3 to 4 months, you know? You have to study pair breakdowns, bro. I think that's where that's discussed the most. I mean, honestly, bro, I don't blame you either. Honestly, like, do you understand my Spanish, my English? Like, do you understand when I'm speaking? Like, do you like fluidly understand what I'm saying? Maybe that could be an issue too, because there's a lot of guys in the group that aren't, the best with English. Read the process, bro. What does it say in the process? That is the entire goal of your first. You can even, honestly, this could even be the first 2 months. Like, I just said 3 to 4 weeks because I don't like people, starting bombarding me with questions after 2-3 weeks. But this could honestly be a 4 to 6 week answer, because obviously at the end of the day, I don't know how much you're studying every day. I don't know if you're studying every day. I don't know if you're even studying every week. Like, it's very subjective for everybody. But that is your number. This is your first goal, is understanding whether you're gonna scrap what you already know or you're just gonna use what's given here. And either way is fine, because there's people that have had success with both. Right? Like, for example, Raj said yesterday, right? He doesn't only use what I've shown. He uses stuff that he's accumulated over the 2 years that he's been trading. Whereas there's other people, like there's people like Aaron, whereas it's like Aaron learned pretty much every single part of trading from me because he started trading when he joined my IML team last year. So it works for everybody. You just got to figure out what works for you. Like, I'm probably going to rewrite this too. Good. So the only thing you can do now is continue to do what you're doing. That's all you can do now. Keep studying, keep going, right? Because if you don't get it now, what are you going to do? Quit? And if you quit, you just, wasted not only your money, time, but you wasted your energy, right? And life is about conserving your energy. I have an interesting question though. Do you guys think time is more valuable or energy? That's a good question. I wouldn't know which to pick. I would lean over to energy though. Time is useless to me without energy. And let me tell you why. If I use up all my energy on doing whatever it is that I'm doing, I now don't want to do anything. So the point of time for me is to get stuff done, right? To structure my day to do things. So I just wouldn't see the point in time if there's no energy for me to do anything. I'm just going to be sitting here doing nothing. But yeah, I'll just end it off there though. Hopefully that makes sense. I really need to find somebody that can do this for the website, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. So I'm still looking because apparently nobody can do anything these days. Like, I think you'll find an actual trading group like this before you find a good developer. That's how bad I think they are.